All right, so hello everyone, and welcome to the Turn Tap into Tag webinar hosted by the UC Davis Transfer Opportunity Program. We're so happy to have you all join us tonight for this webinar. My name is Sheila Zhang, and I'm one of the assistant directors for undergraduate admissions and the Transfer Opportunity Program. I am joined by some of our amazing team members, our SOAs, and our colleagues from the California Diversity Recruitment Team. Tonight, this presentation will be presented by our amazing SOAs, Amy and Mallory. So I'm actually going to hand the mic over to Amy and Mallory to introduce themselves and to get this presentation started.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the UC Tap and Tag webinar hosted by the UC Davis Transfer Opportunity Program. My name is Amy Zhang, and I'm a student outreach ambassador for the UC Davis Transfer Opportunity Program, and my pronouns are she, her. I'm joined today by Mallory Ramirez, who is also a student outreach ambassador, as well as one of our top assistant directors, Sheila Xiong, and one of our assistant directors from the California recruitment team, Carolina Valero. We'll be reviewing UC TAP, UC TAG requirements, UC Davis selective majors, and resources and tools to explore and prepare for majors. Please use the chat for engagement and the Q&A feature to ask your questions. We do advise you to make an appointment or email your assigned top coordinator if you want to know more about your application, about how your application will be evaluated. You can do so by visiting www.ucdavis.edu/top, and then you can scroll to the end of the page and find your primary community college. The link will be dropped in the chat for anyone interested. Next, please. Here is a quick overview of our discussion tonight. We'll be reviewing common terms you will hear throughout this presentation and as you embark in the transfer process. Next, we will review UC transfer requirements, then go over the benefits of having a UC TAP along with the transfer admission guarantee, also known as TAG. After that, we will review the UCD selective majors and their additional requirements which are critical for admission. We will then wrap the presentation up with resources showing you how to use assist.org to explore majors and view requirements, and as well as an application timeline. Next, please. Before going into the admission requirements for the UC system, we would like to define some terminologies for you. First, UC TAP stands for UC Transfer Admission Planner. Transfer Admission Planner. TAP is an online planner that allows you to keep track of your progress towards meeting UC transfer requirements. And most importantly, TAP serves as a house for the tag. If you are interested in submitting a tag, you must have a UC TAP. Please remember, filling out the tab accurately will allow the UC representative to pre-evaluate your eligibility. Next is TAG. TAG stands for Transfer Admission Guarantee. The TAG guarantees you admission to one of the TAG participating campuses. If you're applying for a TAG and meet the requirements, you're guaranteed admission to the campus you tagged for as long as you upload your conditions of agreement. Third, we got the selective or CAP or screening majors, which will indicate if a major has specific coursework and/or GPA requirements and deadlines. Campuses refer to these majors as selective, CAP, or screening majors. Even though different campuses use different terms, they all mean the same thing. As a transfer applicant, you need to know if your major falls into this category so that you can plan accordingly. Finally, we got the articulation agreement, which is a formal agreement between two institutions of higher education to determine equivalent courses. Next, please. The materials on this slide are the minimum general admission requirements to be considered for junior level transfer across the UC system. First, we got the units. The minimum unit requirement for junior level applicants is 60 semester units or 90 quarter units of UC transferable credit. Some campuses may allow students to be considered with less than 60 semester or 90 quarter units, but if you want to be competitive, you should prepare to reach junior level standing which is 60 transferable semester units or 90 quarter units. Next is the GPA. 2.4 is the minimum GPA to be considered for admission to UC, but some campuses have higher GPA minimums. At UC Davis, the minimum general overall GPA is 2.8 for all non-engineering majors and 3.1 for all engineering majors and computer science. To be competitive as a transfer student, you must strive for a high GPA and completion of your major preparation coursework so that you are prepared to transfer. Please note, TAG has a higher threshold of criteria than general admission. We will review TAG requirements later in this presentation. And finally, we got the 7-course pattern. The 7-course pattern includes 1 course in mathematical concepts, 2 courses in English composition and critical thinking, and 4 other transferable courses from the areas of arts and humanities, social behavior and sciences, and physical/biological sciences. Next, please. All right, now that we've learned a bit about TOP, let's move on to Transfer 101. Next, please. Here is a screenshot of the UC TAP website. We'll be dropping the website link uctap.universityofcalifornia.edu in the chat in just a second. If you're new to UC TAP, you can click on New to UC TAP, create an account. To get started with creating your UC TAP. If you already have a UC TAP account, you can log in with your ID and password at any time to make changes and updates. Next, please. TAP is a free online tool and helps students track and plan their transfer coursework. The TAP was designed for California community college students. However, you can still utilize the tool even if you are a non-California community college student. If you are a non-CCC student, you will have to manually enter in all of your courseworks. If you are planning to apply for a transfer admission guarantee, you must have a TAP as it is the only place where a TAP can be submitted. We recommend that you meet with a CCC counselor first to upload an education/transfer plan to TAP. Students can use the transfer admission planner to enter the coursework, both completed and planned, from the very beginning of their college careers, or at any point when they decide to transfer to a UC campus. Once again, TAP is meant for CCC students. However, non-CCC students may enter their courseworks as well. They will simply have to enter it manually. Next, please. Here we have a few benefits of UC TAP listed out for you. UC TAP encourages students to select interest in as many UCs as possible. They can always add or remove schools of interest. Additionally, when UC representatives conduct CCC visits, we email students who have expressed interest in our campus, notifying them of our visit and other outreach events and opportunities. A TAP account also better helps us determine the best transfer term for a student, especially since some UCs offer spring and winter admission. Therefore, it is recommended students update and review their TAP each term to maintain accurate information. Next, please. Here is a screenshot of the UC TAP homepage. On the UC TAP homepage, you'll be able to see your TAG status, community college announcements, tips for how to use UC TAP, additional TAG and transfer information, and key filling dates and deadlines for the UC application and TAP. Please note that the TAG status box, as shown with the blue arrow, will only pop up if you have started a TAG. If you have not yet started your TAG application, this box will not be displayed on your homepage. So there are 3 main sections that you will need to complete for UC TAP: About Me, my academic history, and my transfer plan. To navigate through each section and fill out your information, you can either hover over the top menu shown on the blue bar, or you can use the right-hand side menu. When hovering at the top menu, as shown with the gold arrow, the subsections will pop up and you can click on the area you need to fill out. If you are using the right-hand side menu, shown here with the green arrow, the subsections are all listed out for you. For those of you who are planning to submit your transfer admission guarantee, you can find the tag application under the My Transfer Plan section where it says apply for a transfer admission guarantee, parentheses tag. Next, please. We'll be going over the About Me section first. Please don't skip over the About Me section, which includes personal information, demographic information, and support programs. Although some fields are not required, we highly encourage you to fill out the About Me section with as much information as possible. It is important for programs like us to be able to reach out to students of various populations. And when you are done filling out the section, make sure to save your work with the Save button at the very end of the page. Next, please. Next is the academic history section. Here you will need to list all high schools and colleges that you have attended. This includes any out-of-state or out-of-country schools. High school coursework information is not required for transfer students. This is simply asking for high school and college attendance to ensure that there are no gaps in education. Please make sure to mark yes and no correctly for current or most recent school. Only put yes on your most current school. This is how UC system determines primary school. Later on, we will be going over the where and when I plan to transfer, which is where top holds a report to invite students to group advising. If students decide to stay another year, they need to change their term to be included in future communications. Next, please. All right, so a quick reminder here. It is important to note that if you attend multiple colleges, you must report all of them. And just because community colleges belong to the same district doesn't mean that all courses should be listed under one college only. Be sure to list all colleges up until your last semester at the UCC before your transfer. Next, please. And once you select the course, indicate if it is in progress or planned, or if completed, input the grade and click Add. Next, please. Please remember that coursework entries must match transcripts. Non-California Community College coursework must be entered manually. California Community College coursework that is non-transferable won't show up on the dropdown and will also need to be entered manually. Do not leave out any coursework regardless of transferability. Use the Add It Now to manually enter the coursework. When adding courses manually, please be sure to include subject, course number, course title, whether the course is in progress, planned, or completed with a letter grade, and the number of units. This must match with how the course shows on your unofficial transcript. Next, please. All right, towards the bottom, the summary is pretty straightforward for California Community College students and provides an overview of your progress towards meeting your minimum UC transfer requirements. Here you can see your UC GPA and units, along with any courses that have been completed that fulfills the same course pattern. Please note that you will need to refer to the Assist Certified Courses row for your UC GPA and units as Assist Certified calculates UC transferable coursework. If your coursework is complex and includes coursework from out-of-state, private schools, CSUs, international record, we recommend that you schedule an appointment with your top advisor to go over your coursework. Next, please. Right underneath coursework, you will be able to find exams. Please include all exams taken, including score and date. Regardless of your score, AP, IB, and international exams are entered here. You do not need to include ACT or SAT. AP exams with a score of 3 or higher can be reported for transferable credit. And any IB high-level exams with a score of 7 or higher can be reported for transferable credits as well. Next, please. Moving on, under my transfer plan is where you'll be able to provide more information for where and when you plan to transfer. Apply for tag and apply for regular admission. In the where and when I plan to transfer, please make sure to indicate term, campuses, majors that you're interested in transferring to. This section is important since this is where Top Polls reports to invite students to participate in our programs and events. If your major or term and year that you plan to transfer changes, you can always come back to this page to update your information. Next, please. All right, we're going to transition now to the UC tag section, and we'll show you the steps on how to submit your tag after the tag section. Okay, so once you have your UC tab done, it'll help you be ready to submit a tag. 6 out of 9 UC campuses offer tag. You can refer to the UC tag matrix to learn more about each campus criteria. It is important to note that the tag requirements may change each year and they are different from campus to campus. Therefore, it is important to use the most recent information. Students can tag to only one campus, but can apply to as many of the others as they choose. Some campuses also offer tag submission outside of fall. Those campuses are Merced during spring and Riverside during winter. All of the tag information in this presentation is based on tag criteria for students who are applying for fall 2025 admissions. It is important to check each cycle for updated information because requirements can change from year to year. Typically updates are published in July. Next, please. Next, we will be going over eligibility. Tag is available to any students transferring directly from a California community college. In order to be eligible for UC Tag, the last school you attend prior to transfer must be a California community college, and you cannot be cross-enrolled at a non-California community college. At least 30 semester or 45 quarter units of your coursework must be from a California community college. If you are previously enrolled at a UC and wish to return to that UC, you cannot apply through the tag process or regular admission process. You will need to apply through a process called readmission. The tag matrix is a great resource for you to see an overview of tag criteria for all 6 tag campuses. The link we have here has the criteria for students who are applying for its fall 2025 tag. The tag matrix typically gets updated in July, so check back for updates if you are not planning to tag for fall 2025. If you're not sure if you qualify for a tag, please reach out to your top advisor or UC representative for your tag campus of interest. And we will share the link to tag matrix in the chat in just a few seconds. Next, please. More eligibilities. So 30 transferable semester units will need to be completed by September 30th, which is the tag submission date, so by the end of summer term. 60 transferable semester units need to be completed by the end of spring prior to transfer, and they cannot be finished up over the summer. The campuses that do a tag pre-evaluation are UC Davis and UC Merced. These campuses will review your tag application and let you know whether or not it is approved by mid-November. All other UC campuses do not do a pre-evaluation. They only send one final admission decision in the spring. Regardless of whether or not the campus you tag does a pre-evaluation, you must still submit your UC application by November 30th and your transfer academic update in January. If applying to a tag campus that does a pre-evaluation, we want you to wait to get your tag decision before you submit your UC application because your tag decision will include important next step information. Next, please. We're going to continue with tag eligibility requirements for fall 2025 tag. To qualify for a fall 2025 tag at any one of the 6 participating campuses, you must submit a tag application through the UC Transfer Admission Planner. between September 1st and September 30th, 2024. Submit the UC application between October 1st and December 2nd, 2024. And tag major and application major for the tag campus must submit a transfer academic update by January 31st, 2025. Meet all campus-specific tag criteria. Some campuses conduct a tag evaluation and notify students of whether they meet their tag or not in November. UC Davis will notify students in mid-November. Next, please. This slide shows you a breakdown of when the deadline for completion of the English composition courses. As you can see, this varies from campus to campus. At UC Davis, students must have at least one UCE be completed by fall 2024. Second UCE can be in progress for spring 2025 for the English requirement. Next, please. This shows you a breakdown of when the deadlines for completion of the math requirements by tag campus. Just like the English requirement, this timeline can differ by campus as well. For UC Davis, it must be completed by the end of fall 2024. Next, please. Here are the GPA requirements for applicants by tag campus. Each tag campus sets their own GPA requirements. Some have one overall GPA requirement and some vary by major. Keep in mind that there may be additional GPA requirements within major-specific coursework. It is possible this information could change because the most current tag criteria has not posted yet. At UC Davis, the GPA varies from 3.2 to 3.5 and must be completed by the end of summer 2024. Please note that this is an overall GPA and you must also fulfill selective major requirements if your major requires a certain GPA. And we'll go over this in the next section. Next, please. So we just covered minimum tag requirements. However, we know many of you are interested in tagging to UC Davis. So in this next section, we will cover UC Davis specific tag requirements and selective major requirements. Here is an overall snapshot of UC Davis tag eligibility from last cycle. The minimum tag GPA for Davis is 3.2 for non-engineering majors and 3.5 for all College of Engineering majors. For UC Davis tag, we require that students be solely enrolled in the California Community College system, the spring, fall, and spring prior to transfer, not just the last term. We also require that students who are enrolled part-time for any of these terms submit a comment in their tag application as to why they are enrolled part-time as opposed to full-time. Please note that students must meet all of these criteria in order to stay qualified. Units, GPA, 7-course pattern, selective major criteria, and enrollment requirements are equally weighted during tag evaluation. Next, please. In addition to the last slide, every UC campus has majors that have specific coursework and or GPA requirements for admission. These majors will vary by campus. At UC Davis, we refer to them as selective majors. If you're applying to a UC Davis selective major, you must make sure you will complete all of the required coursework by the end of your last spring term at your community college. Summer coursework will not be taken into consideration to determine admissions. Major GPAs must be met at the time of tag or general application. For example, if one course out of 3 have been completed by the time the application has been submitted, that grade must be at or higher than the minimum GPA for the entire course group. We will share the selective major requirements URL in the chat in a few seconds as well. Next, please. Okay, so while UC Davis offers 100 plus undergraduate majors, 34 majors are considered selective. If your major of interest is in the list here, you have to pay close attention to our selective major requirements and prioritize completing certain coursework. Before we dig deeper in each of these majors in the next few slides, students are expected to take courses comparable to the UC Davis course requirements as long as they are offered at the California Community College they attend. When the ASSIST website indicates no comparable courses or not articulated, the selective major course requirements will be waived for UC Davis admission/TAG, but it must be completed after enrolling at UC Davis. You can find California Community College courses that are comparable to UC Davis courses using the ASSIST website. Next, please. Now I'll hand over the stage to Mallory to go over Davis's selective majors and requirements for selection. Go ahead, Mallory.
Thank you. All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Mallory. I'm an SOA for the Transfer Opportunity Program, and now we will go over Davis's selective majors and requirements for selection. It is important to note here that we are using UC Davis coursework, so to determine the articulated courses at your community college, you must use assist.org major guide, and please make sure to use the most current document. So for selective majors, let's start off with the biotechnology. The calculus series, general chemistry series, and a general biology course are required. And you must achieve a minimum of a 2.5 GPA between your calculus courses and a minimum of a 2.5 between your chemistry courses. And for the biology course, there is a minimum of a 3.0 GPA that must be acquired. Next, please. And for managerial economics, micro and macro economics are required along within the calculus series and statistics. They are alternative majors that have a business curriculum, so students can discuss major exploration with the top coordinator or advisor during their one-on-one appointments. And some alternative majors for managerial economics are animal science and management, ecological management, restoration, environmental science and management, international relations, human development. There's a couple more. And there are additional recommended courses. Again, if you can complete them prior to transfer, then you save some money. If not, you would just need to complete them, the courses after you transfer to UC Davis. Next, please. For viticulture and enology students, they must achieve a minimum of a 3.0 between all required major courses that are shown in this slide. Next. And for landscape architecture, it's not a selective major for admission purposes, but we listed it here because if you want this major, you must apply to pre-landscape architecture and submit a portfolio after enrolling to UC Davis. And that portfolio will be reviewed and will be used to determine if the major can be declared or not. Next, please. And for all the majors that fall within our College of Biological Sciences, they have the same exact criteria for admission. Students must achieve a minimum of a 2.5 GPA in the calculus series, general chemistry series, and general biology series. Some additional tips are, while not required to be completed prior to transfer, biochemistry and molecular biology majors must complete organic chemistry 118A, B, or C rather than organic chemistry 8A or B to meet major requirements. For marine and coastal science majors with a focus in marine ecology and organismal biology, they are encouraged to complete organic chemistry 8A or B preferably, or organic chemistry 118A, B, or C will be accepted to meet major requirements. Neurobiology, physiology, and behavioral majors are strongly encouraged to complete the physics series prior to transfer. And please note that you cannot apply directly for human biology as a major, but if you are interested in human biology, you must apply for a different College of Biological Sciences major. And if you are admitted as a College of Biological Science major, you can enter the lottery for a chance to declare the human biology major after you transfer. And a reference for some alternative majors are biochemistry and molecular biology, biological sciences, cell biology, evolution, ecology, and biodiversity, genetics and genomics, plant biology, neurobiology, those listed there are the alternative majors on the slide. Next, please. And all of College of Engineering majors require the set of courses listed here, but each major also has additional requirements that are unique to it, so it's important to check out our website for major requirement details that will be linked in the chat, so make sure to check that out. And the minimum GPA for general admission for engineering is a 3.1 overall in all transferable coursework, and there's a 3.2 GPA in major specific requirements. For the tag and GPA requirements they're a little bit higher. There's a 3.5 overall GPA and a 3.5 overall GPA in major specific requirements. Next, please. So for math majors, they are required to take the full calculus series, linear algebra, and differential equations, and they must have a GPA of a 3.0 within the entire group of courses for math majors. Next, please. So for all majors except computer science and data science are open for tag. All students interested in applying to the computer science major can apply through the regular admissions process by submitting their UC application by the November 30th deadline. And the minimum GPA to be considered for computer science is a 3.1. So students must also achieve a minimum of a 3.4 in the calculus series and are required and the required computer science coursework. Next. And data science will now be a selective major beginning with the students applying for fall 2024 admission. The entire group of courses listed on this slide must be completed with a minimum of a 3.2 GPA. For economics, students must complete Calculus 1 and 2 and macroeconomics with an overall GPA of a 2.5. An alternative major to economics is managerial economics. And just as a reminder, we are going over the selective impacted majors at UC Davis. So remember to research the institutions and majors that you, for campuses that you are interested in. Next, please. So for pharmaceutical chemistry, they require the general chemistry series, organic chemistry series, and calculus series with a minimum of a 3.0 in all of the required courses that are listed here at this slide. Next. And for the physics major, they require the calculus-based physics series and the full calculus series along with linear algebra and differential equations, and a minimum of a 3.0 is required in all of the major coursework. Next. And for general psychology, statistics and biology are required for all the psychology majors. It is important to note that if you choose the biology 10 option as opposed to the biology 2A, that you must also take one more course listed in the other course category, and the minimum GPA is a 2.9 for all of the required courses. Next. All right, thanks for hanging on while we review the UCD tag and selective major requirements. Now let's switch back to the TAP so we can show you how to submit your tag application. Next. So on your UC TAP homepage, you will select the Apply for a Transfer Admission Guarantee. This will take you to the page to start your tag application. Here you will need to indicate your tag term and campus choice by selecting your current community college and the term and year that you plan to transfer and your UC tag campus. Next, please. Next, you will need to select your tag major of interest and read through the fall 2025 tag checklist. If there are no errors, you can start your tag submission process. If there are errors, you will need to go back to your coursework section to fix any errors as shown on the red box in the screenshot here on the slide. And once you have fixed the errors in the coursework section, you will be able to start the tag submission. So step 1 of the tag submission process will ask you to review the information that you have selected for the correct term, campus, major, and college, and filing information. You will also be asked if you used UC Transfer Pathways or Pathways Plus to prepare for transfer. If you did not, you can leave that blank. Leaving them blank will not impact your tag decision at all. And there is an additional comments box that you can use to add any comments you may have regarding your tag application, coursework, grades, etc. And once you're done with step 1, you can click next step to move on to the next. And in step 2, you will be required to review and confirm the following tag items in the tag submission checklist, and you must agree with each item, check them off individually before you can proceed with step 3. Next. And in step 3, your tag information will be shown. You will need to confirm that the campus, major, college, and term that you are submitting your tag are correct. And once a tag is submitted, you will not be able to change any of this information, so make sure that it is correct. And if everything looks correct, you can click on Submit Tag Now. Step 4 is the UC application survey. This survey is to get an idea of any other campuses that you might be interested in applying to. It does not impact your tag or admission decision at all. Lastly, you will be provided with a confirmation of the tag that you have submitted. You may print a copy for your records or log back into your UC tab to see your tag filing status. Next, please. All right, we know that was a lot of information to take in at once, but don't worry, we are here to help. So continue to connect with us and utilize your resources to make sure that your transfer journey is a success. Here in the next slide, I'll go over some resources. The top team is here to help. Here are some of the resources offered by the Transfer Opportunity Program. TOP offers a variety of resources and services to ensure transfer students are supported throughout their transfer journey from community college to a UC. You can schedule a one-on-one appointment with your top advisor. Please make sure to follow all steps. You must have a UC tab with updated coursework information for your appointment. We also host several workshops throughout the fall focusing on transfer preparation, UC applications, and PIQs. We also highlight our colleges as well as major information to help students prepare for the admission process. Lastly, we collaborate with our colleagues from other undergraduate admission units to provide webinars and special events. Check out our webinars and events with the following link. That would be dropped down in the chat. So here are some of the resources that you can utilize. There is assist.org, the Transfer Admission Planner, AP and IB charts at each school, and the CC Transfer Center and Transfer Opportunity Program. And for assist, we have a few screenshots coming up for you on the next slides. Okay. So Assist is a great one-stop shop for major exploration, articulation agreements, and transferable coursework. This right here on the slide is a screenshot of the homepage on Assist. When you visit Assist, you can click on the LMC Transfer Bound, Transfer Major Explorer link on the left-hand side to explore majors throughout the CSU and UC systems. The articulation agreements area is where you can view lower division major coursework for all CSU and UC campuses and the course equivalencies at your community college. The transferable course area is where you can view what courses are transferable from the community college that you're attending to the CSU and UC systems for any schools that you're interested in. And the link will also be provided in the chat. Los Melanos College has partnered with assist.org to share a really great tool they have to explore majors. When you click on the LMC transfer bound, a link on Assist, it will take you to the Transfer Major Explorer page on the Los Melanos website. On the left, you select an area of interest, and then on the right, you select the discipline within that area. In this example on this slide, we have selected architecture and environmental design as the area of interest and landscape architecture as the discipline. And then below, it provided us with the list of UCs and CSUs that have majors within this area. And once you get the list of majors, you can click on the link to each school to find out more about the major listed. The link will also be provided in the chat. Next, please. In the articulation agreement area of Assist, you can select your community college, any UC or CSU that you're interested in, and then the major at the school. Once you selected the major, it will provide you with the report so that you can view all of the lower division coursework for that major and the course equivalencies at your school. It's important to carefully read over all of the information in the report. Not everything listed for the major on Assist is necessarily required for admissions to the school. It depends on the school and the major, but the more you can complete, the better prepared you will be. So you should meet with your community college counselor or a school representative to make sure that you are correctly interpreting these reports and understand the admission requirements. If you want to explore further or find out about the upper division coursework for the major that you will need to take after transfer, you should go directly to the school's website to view their catalog. The catalog will list not only the lower division coursework for the major, which you can also view on Assist, but also the upper division coursework, which can only be taken at the school after transfer. Next, please. In the transferable courses area of Assist, you can look up your community college and everything that is transferable to CSU or UC. You can pull up the full list or search by the department or prefix. The courses in these reports are what we include in your transfer GPA and units. If the course isn't listed, then it is not transferable. If there is a symbol next to the course in the report, it's important to read the footnote for the additional information. Or if you want to look up what courses meet the 7-course pattern for admission to a UC, then click on the UC transfer admission eligibility courses. Next, please. If you haven't already, be sure to visit us. Go visit our website and reserve a spot. You can also take our student developed virtual tour anytime. It's a great way to experience campus. Plus, on our visit website, you can find a whole lot of ways to connect with us through webinars, online events. And we also have an admissions blog where we'll be posting regular helpful content about UC Davis. And there's a popular "What can I do with my major" blog too that will help you start thinking about your future career right now. And finally, we have a webpage of information, especially for parents and family members. Next, please. Alrighty. Okay, so if you are looking to apply to transfer to a UC for fall 2025, here are some important dates during the admission process. If you are not applying for fall of 2025, you can keep these dates in mind. However, stay posted for your own academic year and deadlines as they do change every year. On August 1st, the UC application opens, and later on October 1st, the filing period for the application opens. Note that most UC campuses only offer a fall admission cycle. Moving on, September 30th is the deadline for TAG application. Some UC campuses will review TAG and send out notifications around November, and UC Davis is one of them. This year, the UC application is due on December 2nd. A few months later, UC campuses have the transfer admission update due usually at the end of January. And at that time, you should also create a My Admissions portal at each of the campuses that you have applied to. FAFSA or the California Dream Act application opens in October and is usually due on March 2nd, Please don't wait until the last minute to submit your application for financial aid. It is definitely not worth the stress. And between March and April, the UC campuses will release their decision for admissions. And lastly, on June 1st is the deadline for submitting your statement of intent to enroll. You will be expected to log into your student portal and accept or decline your admission offer. And if needed, you can take a screenshot of this slide to make sure that you're up to date with the important deadlines. And that's all for me. I'll pass it on to Sheila. Thank you.
All right, well, thank you everyone for staying on throughout this presentation. Thank you all so much for joining us for this hour on how to turn your TAP into TAG. We will be having more webinars that are offered through the UC Davis Transfer Opportunity Program. So please feel free to check out our UC Davis Top website for more webinars to learn about our campus and also to interact with our students. We will also be hosting a tag review week and, also application workshops as well. So you'll be able to see the different webinars that are being offered for admissions if you check out our website. So thank you, everyone. And thank you, Amy and Mallory, who presented tonight's presentation. And although you didn't get to hear from them, quick shout out to Pam and Gato, who have been working the chat tonight. So answering all of your questions. So great shout out to Amy, Mallory, Pam, and Gato for supporting tonight's webinar. So thank you all, and we hope to see you again at our future events. Have a great night, everyone.